Hello student, welcome back to my channel. So today we will start the next topic, electrostatic force due to the continuous charge distribution. But before the discussion of new topic, we will solve one numerical which is related to our previous topics. So here from the diagram we can see we have given two positive charges of each of 2 microcoulomb. Okay, interact with the third charge of 3 microcoulomb situated as shown in figure. From the diagram you can see the location where the charge is placed, and there is one change. It is in meter, not in centimeter, according to diagram. Okay, so here we have given the all basic information. So on the basis of these information I will write here the numerical value. It is in meter, and it is from the diagram also in meter, and it is in meter. Okay, so we will calculate here the force and direction of 3 microcoulomb. So from the diagram I have split out the forces into the resolving component or resolving vectors, or you can say the vertical component and horizontal component. So here we can see that we have two charges Q1 and Q2, both have same magnitude, and the third charge Q3, which is 3 microcoulomb, is common for both of them because the force is experienced by this due to this and this, both are same in magnitude. But here a little bit changes in their direction. It is, if we think about the force which is applied by this 2 microcoulomb charge placed at B on this charge is along the direction of B to C. Suppose this point is considered at C, so B to C, or you can say Bx. And similarly, the force which is applied by the other 2 microcoulomb charge placed at A on the same charge 3 microcoulomb is along this direction, which is a AY direction. But here we will calculate the net force on this point 3 microcoulomb due to the system of two charges of 2 microcoulomb which is placed at according to figure. So here we have net force, which will after resolving the force in their two component, as we know that the rectangular component, when we have a vector supposed to be a vector, we will resolve this vector in their two component, a cos theta, a sin theta. Similarly here the force is also resolved in two components which are known as the rectangular component or the resolving vectors. Okay, so after that here and resolve this force F2 in two component. One is F2 sin theta, another is F1 sin 2 cos theta. Similarly for F1 cos theta and F1 sin theta. But here you will see F1 sin theta and F2 cos theta both are in opposite directions, and F1 and F2 have same magnitude, so they both cancel out each other. There is no contribution for the getting force at point B due to the two charges, but here the contribution is only for this vector which is called a horizontal component of the force. Got it? So here this is, after adding these two we will get the net force or total force acting on this 3 microcoulomb of charge due to the two system of charge here 2 microcoulomb and here 2 microcoulomb also. So after the basic information we will start here the remaining. And one more thing, 3 meter is the distance between O to A, and the C point is just perpendicular to this AB, so we can easily see that by using Pythagoras theorem. It is a AC and BC are 5 meter distance. Okay, so we can write here by PGT. After this explanation we can write by PGT AC is equal to BC is equals to 5 centimeter. Now see, therefore when we talk here about the force, so directly we can see here, so listen, F1 is the force acting on 3 microcoulomb of charge by 2 microcoulomb of charge placed at point A. So here we can write 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 over R square. But here this is the force applied by the charge at place A. So here in place of R, if you are writing, you can write AC square. Similarly, F2 also 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. Got it? So Q2 Q3 over BC square. Now after that, as we know that since F1 and F2 have same magnitude, so it is equals to F. So that's why we can write here. Therefore, total force at C. Directly we can say, as we know that the perpendicular component cancel out each other, so we can write total force supposed to be denoted by F dash is equals to F1 cos theta plus F2 cos theta after resolving the forces into their two components. Got it? So what we will get here, F1 and F2 both have same magnitude, so we can write F dash is equal to 2F cos theta. After that, F dash is equals to 2. In place of F, I am writing the value as this student. F1 and F2 by both are same because here the value 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 and Q3. When we write the value Q1, it is equals to 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 6. Q3, it is 3 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 over AC. AC is a 5 square. Similarly, here also 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 which is same, Q3 which is same, and the distance BC also same. That's why F1 and F2 are equal in magnitude. So here you can write the values. So in place of 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, I am writing directly the value 9 into 10 raised to the power 9. This value, and Q1 and Q2 both are same. So I am writing here the constant value is that the common value for them, which is this one, over the distance AC and BC both are same, so I can write any one which is 5 square. Now here the point is, what is the value of cos theta? So student, what will be the value of cos theta here? So see, from the diagram you can see here theta is the angle in triangle AOC. So you can find out easily the value of cos theta, which is equals to base upon hypotenuse, and from the diagram base is 4, hypotenuse is 5, so it will be 4 upon 5. Got it? Now you can solve the solution. 2 into 9 to the 18, 18 to the 54 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 upon 25 into 4 upon 5. Now after that you can write the common value. After the solution of this, 5 4 to the 8, 8 into 54 into 10 raised to the power minus 3, 25 3, 5 is 125. Got it? 54 8 is 432, 432 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 over 125. So we can solve it. 125 into 125 4 is 500, so it will be 125 which is 375. So 432 375, difference is 25 and 32. So it will be 757. 57 means 570. 570 25. 4 jar 25 4 jar 4 25 3 jar 4 jar 25 4 jar 500. So it will be 3.4 near about 10 raised to the power 3 meter. So you can check the solution by your own. So after that we will talk here about the next topic. So for that pause the video and note down. Now after that we will talk here about the next topic, electrostatic force. Electrostatic force due to continuous charge distribution. Continuous charge distribution means that we can say here it is defined as it is defined as the region in which charge is closely spaced is known as continuous charge distribution. Okay, so in space we have three type of distribution of charge. In space we have three types of distribution of continuous distribution of charge. Got it? Namely, first is linear charge distribution. Second is area charge distribution, or we can say surface charge. Surface charge distribution, or means along the surface distribution of charge distribution. And third we can say volume charge distribution. So here when we talk about the first one, which is our linear charge distribution, when the charge is equally spaced by or closely spaced by in a way that the distribution of charge is linear, means that in one dimensional way, so that time the charge distribution is called linear, and we can say the charge per unit length, that time the term will come whose name is linear charge density. These topics I will discuss with you, and we will write the formula on the basis of linear charge density. Similarly, we have on surface, we can say that surface charge density, and then volume charge density. So linear charge density is our first. Got it? Then after that we can say surface charge density. Then volume charge density. Okay, straight. So these three type of density we will study. After that, the symbol for this is denoted by lambda, and the symbol for this is denoted by sigma, and the symbol for this is denoted by del, somewhere del, or sometime rho. So these two symbols you can see here, different type of bits. So here when we think about the linear charge density, the definition is simple: linear charge density. What you are thinking about density? Your mind interpreted the definition of density as mass per unit volume. It's okay, because that time you are talking about the mass density. But here when we talk about the linear charge density, because here we are talking about the electric force due to continuous charge distribution, the main concern is about the distribution of charge. So behalf of the distribution of charge, we will categorize three type of densities. So the definition of D densities in term of charge is, you can say like this: linear charge density means charge per unit. It is defined as the charge per unit length. Distribution of charge per unit length is called linear charge density, and it is denoted by lambda, and lambda is equals to Q upon L. Suppose we have a rod of length L. Got it? We have a rod of length L, and the distribution of charge in it is such that it is closely spaced. So that time the distribution of charge Q per unit length is called its linear charge density. On the basis of this linear charge density, you can easily apply the formula of electrostatic force, okay, and also the electric field. We will discuss later on the formula for electric field in terms of the charge densities in different manner. Got it? So after that, we talk here about the surface charge density. Surface charge density means that charge per unit area, means that here we are thinking about we are talking about the distribution of charge. So as I told you earlier, there are three ways or three type of distribution of charge along the wire, along the plane sheet, along a cubical body or cuboidal body, means along one dimensional, two dimensional and three dimensional. Okay, so here surface charge density means that charge per unit area is called, the distribution of charge per unit area is called surface charge density denoted by sigma. It is equals to Q upon. Okay, so if we think about one more basic information about the SI unit, what it will be? SI unit of lambda, it is equals to coulomb per meter, because here we are talking about the surface charge density. Now sorry, linear charge density. Now here the surface charge density is charge per unit area. If you think about their SI unit, it will be coulomb per meter square, because here the charge is distributed along their surface. And now after that, volume charge density. Now here the same definition defined as charge per unit volume. Is called volume charge density. Here when we talk about the surface charge density, as we know that the distribution of charge is along the surface of the body, so that's why it is Q upon A, and the surface has some area. Here it is one dimensional distribution, here it is two dimensional distribution, and the third one is that charge per unit volume denoted by del, or we can say rho, it is equals to Q upon V. V is our volume, means charge per unit volume, and here its SI unit is coulomb per meter cube. Okay, on the basis of their SI unit, you can easily find out what the dimension formula also, and here we have the body, three-dimensional body like cuboid, cube, whatever you want, and the distribution of charge is equally spaced. So that's why this kind of distribution is called volume charge density. Means here the density, behalf of this kind of distribution, which is called volume charge distribution, is called volume charge density. And after this, these three, we will write here some formulas behalf of this linear charge density based on surface charge density, volume charge density. We will study one by one the all. So for that, pause the video and note down the work. So students, okay student, so we know about three kinds of distribution of charge. One is linear charge distribution. Along with this, we got the value of linear charge density. Lambda is equals to Q upon N. Okay, so similarly, the sigma is surface charge density Q upon A, and rho, or you can say this one, it is equals to Q upon. So ये सारी values, the all values you will get here in this lecture. After that, because the name of the heading is electrostatic force, so where is the electrostatic force in which we will write the formula of electrostatic force in terms of continuous charge distribution in different sectors. First, in linear distribution, if we think about linear distribution of charge, so in this condition what we will do here, as we know that here the charge is distributed linearly, means that the one dimensional distribution of charge is here. So for this condition I am considering here a wire along this, like this wire. So in this wire we are thinking about what will be the force acting on this. So this is the wire and having some length L, and suppose the elementary length of this wire is dl. Here I am considering dl length. So for this condition, if I will calculate the force acting on any charge q naught, or you can say the force of attraction between the two charge, one is a q naught charge and another charge is that which is along that. So we can think about this part as our elementary part. So this is supposed to be this center. Elementary part is very small. Understand? So this elementary part has a charge dq. Suppose, because if I consider the total charge of this wire is supposed to be q, so for this condition we can consider the charge on this elementary length of this wire, which is here dl, is dq. Now the force of interaction between them, if it is a origin point, so this is like this and this is different positions here. Suppose this is our r1 vector, this is our r2 vector, and here the distance, magnitude of distance, I am not taking here vector form, magnitude of distance if I am taking it supposed to be r12, r12 or 21, depends on you, because if you are considering the length AB, as you know that OB minus OA, and OB is your r2 and OA is your r1, and if you want to write this one like 1 2, then your distance will be 1 2, r12, and this is a vector form but the magnitude is supposed to be r here. So that time the force, as we know that it is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 over r square. Okay student, this is common formula for force, but because here we are thinking about the linear charge distribution, so q1 is replaced by the elementary charge dq, and q2 will say okay, q2 remain same, which is equals to here q0. And second thing, r12 is replacement of r square. Here, if I am thinking about the force by linear distribution, so it will be 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q1. In place of q1 I will write dq symbol, and in place of q2 I will write q naught, and in place of r naught, r square, I will write here r12 square. It is in magnitude, but if we will show, now here the condition is that, listen carefully, here I am writing this force only for this elementary length, this, but if we think about the whole length from this point P to Q, means, so we will use the linear integral, means the constant part will come out, which is here q naught also, and the remaining will be, the variable will be in integral. Now the value of lambda, as we know that dq upon L, dq upon L, so dq is equals to, and here also we can use the term, because here we are using integration, so we can write it dq upon dl, because for this length I am using the formula lambda, which is equal to dq is equals to lambda into du. Got it? So it is equals to q naught 4 pi epsilon naught integral, it is lambda into dl upon r12 square. Or if you want to show this 1 2, if you want to show this 1 2 like r, you can show. Okay, so this is your formula, magnitude of this. If you want to show the direction also, you will use here r12 type. Got it? So in magnitude, their formula is this, and in vector form, if you want to show, you can write q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught integral lambda dm r12 square into r12 type. Got it? Similarly, the same thing we will do for the surface charge density and for volume charge density. This is the electrostatic force. Later on, we will calculate here the electric field on the basis of surface, on the basis of continuous charge distribution, means linear surface to volume charge distribution. After that, student, the next one is surface charge distribution for this along the surface. Now second is in surface charge distribution. In surface charge distribution, what we will write here? See here, in surface charge distribution, we know that we will take here two dimensional. So for this condition, let us suppose this is a plate having some surface area S. Got it? So in this plate, let us suppose that this is an elementary surface having surface area ds or dA, whatever you want. If you want to write here dA, you can use here dA, and if you will write here A, you can. Now here, this is again the origin point. Now the location of 2 points, say q naught is placed here and dq is the charge on this elementary area, and this is the point same as here r1, r2, r12. Got it? So what we will do? We will do directly here. Therefore, the electrostatic force, as you know that since sigma is the surface charge density, and their formula for charge q and length area A is q upon A. But here, listen student, we will take the elementary cross sectional area. So for elementary area, dA, the charge, let us suppose the charge is dq, means the distributed charge in the given elementary area dA is dq. So that time the surface charge density sigma is equal to dq upon dA. Point clear? So after that, what we will do? dq is equals to sigma into dA. Listen carefully. This is the formula for surface charge density, but in case of linear distribution of charge, your dq is different. Similarly, it will be different in the other upcoming case. Now, the force, therefore, force is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 over r square. Now here you can write q1 is equals to dq and q2 is equals to q naught. And r is equals to r12 once again. You can write r only. So after that, you can see here f is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. q1 is equal to dq and it is q naught, and here we have r12 square. Now the condition is that here we will place the value of dq, which is equals to sigma into dA, okay, over r12 square. Now if we are thinking here the total force, because when we are taking the force for this area element, so it will be supposed to be dF here. Now I am writing directly the formula for the entire, therefore total force, total electrostatic force for the entire region, we can write here Q naught, this will be constant here, remaining will come in integration, okay, this is constant but the all things will come in integration. So integration is a surface integral, because here we are talking about the surface distribution of charge. Clear? So your formula will be this. If you will write the direction, so in case of direction you can write directly here Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught surface integral sigma dA upon r1 square into r1. Got it? So this is your second formula for surface charge distribution. Now after that we will talk here about the volume charge distribution, third one. In case of volume charge distribution, we will consider here a cubical block. Okay, so here we are thinking about a cubical block. Suppose this block is this. In which charge is equally spaced and called what? Volume charge distribution. So here we have again origin. From here we are taking a volumetric, or you can say volume element having volume dV, and suppose in this volume the charge is placed dq. So for this condition R2, R1, R12, we can see the vector conditions will follow as same. So here I am writing directly, as we know that del, or you can write I told you can use this rho symbol for this volume distribution. Third one is in volume distribution. Of charge. Now rho is equals to Q upon V. This is the general formula, but here we are talking about the elementary surface, so it will be dq upon dV as shown in figure. So now therefore the electrostatic force which we are thinking is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 over R12 square. But here Q1 is equals to dq and Q2 is equal to Q naught and R is equals to R12. Okay, so here 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 is equals to dq, Q2 is equals to Q naught, and this one is equals to R12 square. Now after that you can replace this value, dq is equals to rho into dV. So F is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught rho into dV into Q naught upon R12 square. Now therefore we are talking about the total force. Therefore total force you can write it is like dF also, because here you are taking the force only for the line element. Otherwise at last you can write total force F is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught integration Q naught is a constant, so it will come out. So remaining dV over R12 square in vector form. The same thing you will do. You will apply here in vector form. R12 cap. Point is clear. So this is the electrostatic force due to the continuous charge distribution. So at last I am writing all three formulas in front of you, which I have got. See here, first formula is for linear charge distribution. It is U naught over 4 pi epsilon naught linear integral. Okay, so linear integral it is equals to lambda dl over r12 square or r square you can write. After that other one U naught over 4 pi epsilon naught surface integral sigma dA upon r12 square. Next one Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught volume integral the three formulas I have got. F linear you can say, surface you can say, and volume you can say. It is with respect to surface, with respect to volume, with respect to linear means length. So these three topics I have discussed with you, and in my next lecture I will discuss some numericals which are based on these three topics: linear charge density, surface charge density, and volume charge density. So till that time, see this video properly, and if you have any doubt, any queries, so you can ask the queries to your comment box or Google. Okay, thank you very much.